Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, and today's video I have three stories for you. The first one has to do with PayPal. There is a large integration with a huge crypto that I think you'll be interested in. The next bit of news has to do with the CFTC. Because of the FTX situation, news came out about three cryptos that the CFTC is starting to claim, which I think you will be very interested in. The last bit of news has to do with Apple. There is some litigation that came out very recently that forced Apple's hand, and we'll talk about that. So the first bit of news has to do with PayPal, Ethereum, and MetaMask. So we will get into it, and it is bullish for all three of those companies, mostly for PayPal because their finances are not doing too good this year. Ethereum, of course, some more integrations, especially integrations from Web2 to Web3 is always a good thing, and then more use cases for MetaMask, all in all, is very good for all three companies. So let's check it out. PayPal will integrate its buy, sell, and hold crypto service with MetaMask wallets as the companies look to broaden users' options to transfer digital assets from their platforms. And right now you can transfer crypto outside of PayPal, but it's nice to make it directly to your MetaMask. That makes it a lot easier instead of having to go through different third-party systems or other methods of doing it. I'm actually not sure because I haven't bought crypto on PayPal. But according to the release, the partner between the payments firm and MetaMask is intended to enable users to select their PayPal accounts as the payment option to buy ETH within the MetaMask app, which is very interesting as well. And all in all, I think this is in order to bring more people to the Web3 ecosystem. And it also brings more people from MetaMask into PayPal as well, if it's a more streamlined way to move funds, whether that be US dollars over to Ethereum or Ethereum to US dollars. So I think it's a win-win for both companies. Although, of course, you know, this is Crypto Elite's channel, so I am on the crypto side of this, and I think it is bullish overall. And PayPal, as we know, or if you're unfamiliar, this year has been not really good for their finances. Their stock has plummeted a lot. So if we just check out today, of course, down 1.5%, nothing too crazy. If we check out the 1 year, we're down 62%, but that's not even it. They started to go down even before the 1 year mark, and they were down about 76%, almost 80%. And as far as stock prices goes, that's a lot. That's almost getting into that crypto territory as far as prices and declines go. So PayPal is not doing a good job this year. So I think this integration will help them out a lot, as well as Ethereum, and bringing more awareness to the overall ecosystem. So that was the first bit of news I wanted to talk about. The second thing has to do with the CFTC. And as you can see here, I have logos from the CFTC and the SEC because what they said is going to cause these two companies, or not even companies, these two parts of the US government to collide and butt heads a little bit. So the CFTC, if you're unfamiliar with them, these guys are in charge of things that there's no big CEO in charge of the company or corporation. So like oil, there's no CEO in charge of all of the oil globally. There's no CEO in charge of wheat globally. So that's what the CFTC is in charge of. But they just came out with something due to the FTX scandal, and they said that they are more or less claiming these three digital assets. The first one being Bitcoin, which I 100% agree with. If you were to go after Bitcoin, there's no one person at the top of the pyramid for Bitcoin. There's no CEO for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, there's a little bit of a question there whether it's Vitalik or some of Vitalik's different coworkers who works with Ethereum, and they have a corporation and all different ways to get out of being labeled as security. But they are by far more decentralized than any other crypto out there besides Bitcoin. So I can definitely see that. And then they also attached Tether to it, so USDT. They said those three were commodities, which is, I agree with the first two. The third one is a little bit of a question mark, but I do dig anything that's in the bubble of the CFTC will be a little bit better than being over with the SEC. But we'll see. So I did want to let everyone know that they did come out and say that. So certain digital assets are commodities, including Bitcoin, Ether, Tether, and others, as defined under section blah, blah, blah of the US code. So that is kind of what they came out with, which is a little bit different because Gary Gensler has straight up said that the only thing that is not a security is Bitcoin. So they are going to butt heads a little bit on that one. But thankfully from this, at least one good thing has come out of the FTX founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, getting arrested is now that we know the CFTC considers Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether to be commodities. So that's the second bit of news that I wanted to share. The last bit of news I want to share has to do with Apple, like I was saying. And Apple, I don't need to introduce this company. We all know, love the iPhone. You probably have one in your pocket right now, but they are going to allow third-party application stores to utilize things like NFTs and other cryptos, and they don't have to go through Apple and pay that 30% tax. That's what this article, I'll link it in the description below if you want to check it out. But it's really good because it opens up the doors for developers to start creating apps, and they don't have to go through Apple, like I said. And Apple wanted certain things that weren't feasible. So Coinbase, in this article, they even said that some of the Ethereum fees to pay for NFTs and things like that, Apple wanted a 30% cut of that. But as you know, you can't just take 30% cut of a gas fee. It doesn't quite work like that. So some applications and some companies, they had to pause the apps from going on the App Store because what Apple was asking just wasn't feasible. But now that there is a workaround, this workaround is from the EU, so I will caveat that. I don't know globally how things will work, but from the EU, Apple does have to abide by this. So those are the three stories we talk about. Of course, I think this is really big. Hopefully it becomes a global thing, but Apple is going to start opening up their App Store to third-party apps that don't have to go directly through Apple and get that 30% cut, which is awesome. The CFTC just talked to the SEC and the world basically and let us know that there's 3 different cryptos out there, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT, which are commodities they are claiming. And the last bit of news has to do with PayPal, Ethereum, and MetaMask. Good partnership all in all. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.